All right, let's freaking get it. Welcome, Colton Kentopp, one of my number one guys on the entire team. Thank you for hopping on the call today. We're going to dive into Colton's story about what he was doing before he got into sales, what his experience has been like so far. He's only about a month and a half, 2 months in now, coming up on three, and just a little bit about Colton. So, Colton, thanks for coming on, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, Travis. Well, first and foremost, thanks for having me, hanging in there. About 2 months into this journey in the insurance industry, and a little 300-foot view, a little bit about me. Did actually go to college, graduated from UNC Charlotte back there in 2023. Right when I got out, I bought an info course through Parker and Gavin called Arbitrage Arena. They bought a course through Flip for Miles in the Amazon space. So right out of college, I had bought info, had got into the Amazon e-commerce space, went to high school with a buddy who does about $10 million a year in revenue. Steven Does Business is his name, and kind of got the ball rolling there. Knew I had to diversify myself just because I had gotten into the Amazon game so late. And at any second, Amazon could kind of, shut down. So I knew I had to diversify myself. I knew I had the skill set to talk. And I love talking to people, and been following Travis for a while, and one thing led to another, and 2 months into this, and I couldn't be happier. So that's where I'm at right now. And yeah, it's great.
Sweet, dude. Sweet. So you're doing Amazon before this. Being in the Amazon space, like what made you want to get into sales? Like what about sales kind of intrigued you?
Yeah, so just because Amazon's not as forward facing, this is a little bit more forward facing. You're working directly with the clients. Your impact is a little bit more significant here. You're truly helping families, whereas Amazon, you're supply and demand. So it's a little bit different. The flow of money is a little bit different as well. And, I truly found what I want to do here in this industry. I feel not only do I have an impact to lead others, impact others positively, and most importantly, help families. So that kind of what landed me in this position, where I'm at now.
Sweet, dude. Sweet. And what was one of your biggest struggles starting out when you got into sales?
Oh man, biggest struggle starting out. So 2 months ago, I was afraid to hit the dial button. I was afraid of making money and doing money making activities, and that was the toughest thing for me. And something must have dawned on me. I don't know if maybe me or you had a conversation. I'm no one special, and I was just able to hit that dial button and put myself in an uncomfortable spot. To find success, and being uncomfortable has kind of led me to get my feet wet and finding success. So that was the hardest struggle starting off, is just getting on the phone with clients, really.
Yeah, 100%. And what was that thing that so like you just it was kind of hard for you to hit the dial button. What do you think clicked in your mind? Because that's like a big problem that people have in sales. Either I was telling Caesar this, either people have a skill set issue or they have just like an action issue. It's usually one of the two things. For me, it was more of a skill set issue coming in. I just had to develop my skill set more over time. But I think for you, you're already pretty good talking over the phones and in sales in general. I think yours is just kind of a discipline issue. So different salesmen will have a different type of problem. How did you overcome that issue of just, doing money making activities? I know that you and I kind of like sit on that term and that's like what kind of pushed you over the edge almost.
Yeah, no. So for me, it definitely still a skill set thing. We all have room to grow from a skill set standpoint, but I was able to talk. For me, it was more or less the action part of it. So just doing it, and the imaginary parentheses that we all have as humans of what if, what if, what if, and just getting rid of those parentheses, really, and just making yourself uncomfortable, and there's only one way, and that's up, right? So for me, that was the toughest thing, and forced myself to do something I wasn't comfortable doing. And now all I want to do is get on presentations, and get on the phone and get one step closer to helping a family. So it's funny how it works, right?
Yeah, 100%. And then kind of like how did you first come across like my page? How did you first come across me? How did that whole thing start?
Yeah, so really for me, you were living in St. Pete at the time. I had moved back down to Tampa, and just kind of knowing that you were around, and had been following your stuff for a while. I want to say with in this past calendar year of 2025, and just running. I think that's one of the things that really kind of stuck with me, just with not only my body type but also running. having that commonality there with the Ultra down there and the 100 Keys, as well as there in Daytona, I believe it was. You did that other race, so that was my main turning point there, having commonality in that realm, and then from there, just right place at the right time with the right system, and that's kind of where we're at now. That's really how I found you, just through the socials, not the seawall cleaning, not the Black and Dello there with George Nordello, but just you personally developing, strengthening your mind, your body, and ultimately running races that less than 1% of the US population, excuse me, world population will do. So that's kind of how I found you in a nutshell.
Dope, dope. That's awesome. And then what kind of made you like? What pushed you over the edge to take that first step to join the sales team?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was just you were making the move there from Tampa, excuse me, St. Pete to the East Coast, from the West Coast to the East Coast, and prayed on it and just, if this is where he's going, there has to be a reason why he's going there. You prayed on it as well, and that was the direction he was kind of leading you. And I prayed on it, and it was just a gut feeling thing. For me, ultimately, realizing that the CEO of the company that we both now work for went to NKU, which was where I used to work for Fidelity Investments up there in Kentucky. I was 4 minutes from the campus. And long story short, the first guy that I met at Fidelity Investments was Colton. He had the same name as me, and he graduated from NKU. So that was the turning point for me there. Other people are going to relate in different ways, but that was kind of the aha moment, the click for me, which was kind of weird. But yeah.
Was it? I mean, that's really cool. Kind of getting that like confirmation from God almost that this was like the right move to make. On top of that, was it also just kind of like income wise? You're thinking like, man, this Amazon thing's cool. I actually want to still pursue it, but I just need more like capital to really get it going. Like it was also obviously the financial kind of like position that you were in too that made you want to make the jump as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, it takes money to make money. So, especially kind of being, young and hungry now, no amount of money is going to be able to, propel you in the right direction. You just got to have to gather as much as you can. And being in this position, just got off a team call there with Taylor Freeman, and he's like, "Well, if I need to make 5 more grand this week, I'm just going to spend a little bit more on leads and make 5 more grand this week." You're in control of your destiny, and that's just the reality of it. And being in a vehicle like this, where you're able to basically call your shots almost to a T by controlling the controllable, from my understanding in the short years that I've been here on this earth, there's really nothing like it. Anybody can do it. Anybody can get a license. It's about consistency and showing up, right? That's the hardest part, is just showing up. So, I'm not sure if that answers your question there, but
Yeah,
that's
no, it
kind
does.
of where I'm at with that.
Cool, cool. And then before you actually like got into sales, because I also want to like, because sales in itself is the same across all industries. I came from door to door before getting into insurance sales. I mean, there's high ticket closers out there. There's people doing pest control, alarms, door to door, like all kinds of different sales positions. For you getting into your first sales position, were you skeptical at all getting into it? Like, was there something at first where you're like, I don't know about this, if it's gonna work out or not? And if you were skeptical, what changed your mind?
Yeah, I mean, what's skeptical? What changed my mind? Deposits in the bank account first and foremost. But yeah, I heard you made 60K in a month, and as we got to create a relationship here at Unitrust, realized that you didn't make 60K in a month, and the
Yeah,
deposits actually hit here, and
it's a myth.
just yeah, I did have skepticism, but once I actually saw the ACHs, not only from all the fast start bonuses there, that we're still not done receiving yet, I was seeing that, and then from all the different carriers, A+ rated companies, it's like, wow, I'm actually getting paid out from companies that have 10,000 plus employees. Like, this is real. I haven't had a chargeback. My placement's 100%. I think I've had one cancel in several dozen policies that I've put into place. So it's great to see, and just happy to be here ultimately, and happy to grow in an industry where there is no ceiling. I think for me, it took a really long time, in my short life to find that. And I'm very passionate about not only where I'm at, but the people I'm surrounded with, and most importantly, the systems and the vehicle that I'm in, because that is the most important thing. If you're in the wrong vehicle with the wrong systems, you're just going to fail. Unfortunately, you're going to get sold a pipe dream that's not reality. And yeah, just blessed that I didn't have to start at a starting company and get put into a system where I just started making money right away, and you just had to work, right?
Yeah. And how and then just kind of like piggybacking off of that, how do you think that our training that we give you and the systems that we have for sales, like how did that make the whole process to making money easier for you?
Yeah, I mean, watching you show up every day, waking up before me, getting off after me, putting in more reps than me, kind of just lit the fire underneath me. Well, you can't live two lives. It's either this or it's that. And realizing that there's only so many minutes in the day, and just all you have to do, if you can do anything, is just plug into the Zooms. Even if you just have your AirPods in, your camera off, and you're muted, you are going to learn so much knowledge from the 6 daily trainings from 11 to 12, Monday through Saturday, the new agent onboarding from 1 to 4 every Thursday, and all the resources in between. If you just plug into those, you're set up for success, right? There's no way you fail unless you create false narratives in your head and still have those parentheses that are, not allowing you to do what you should be doing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Cool. And then what do you think the biggest mindset shift has been for you since you got into sales and you've been under the leadership and trainings that we've been giving you?
Yeah, so I think for me, always kind of been, social in the social media space. Started making YouTube videos back there 2014, 2015. Um, Had a whole different voice back then, which is crazy to even see and hear. But always been in the space, kind of saw you and really just not only, I don't want to say the words lit a fire again, but kind of looked at myself in the mirror and said, there, why not me? Right? You always kind of hear those analogies on social media, and it was why not me? And kind of once we progressed here at this company, I have now started to post on social media. I try to post every single day, just once a day. I don't want it to overcrowd my day, but I just want to have the consistency, the update in my life to show not only do I go through trial and error, highs and lows, emotions, and just to keep everyone updated, whether one person's watching or no one's watching. So for me, I've improved not only from a business standpoint, a personal standpoint, but slowly but surely developing mentally, right? And just understanding that there's so much more to life than just going to work, right?
Yeah,
There's so much more to life than just these simple things we do every day, and you have to find the joy in that. And I've truly found that here, and you've positively impacted my life from multiple different standpoints. But everyone can correlate to this. They've been impacted by your life through the videos that you post, right? Because all of us spend 1/3 of our lives on our phones, right? Scrolling, doom scrolling, whatever it may be. And you're posting up on the algorithm, and you are, coming across other people's pages and positively impacting them because that's what your content is. So I've learned a lot from that. I've taken notes from that. I've watched you as a person, in person, over Zoom, through all facets of life. And it's just been a positive impact overall. And just excited to grow, excited to not only grow our relationship, but within this industry and with all the people, within this company. So, yeah.
that's awesome, dude. Well said. Well said. Well, that's sick. I mean, I guess other than that, what have you kind of seen like income wise so far? Because submit wise, I mean, just last month alone, you put up 25,000 in your first full month, right? I mean, August was pretty much your first full month. I know, like, you were still kind of getting contracted a little bit in July. You're still kind of like getting your feet off the ground. So I wouldn't say July was really your first full month. I would consider August your full first month. And I always let everyone know, like, my first month when I got into sales, at least virtual sales. So and this goes for anyone, everyone that's high ticket, virtual over the phone. I was in door to door before that, obviously, but my first full month in virtual sales, I only did like 5K in submit, which means I only profited about like maybe 2 to 3 thousand. So really nothing much at all. But you came in and you submitted 25,000 in your first full month, which is insane. I mean, that's literally a 4x from what I did. So, or no, 5x, five times five, literally 5x from what I did. So it's super impressive to see that, dude. Like, genuinely. How much between like the bonuses that you saw, between all the overrides that you were or the commissions that you were making, how much did you see in profit over that first full month?
Yeah, so that first full month was definitely August for me. So I wrote right around 25K there my first full month. Really weird month overall because I don't want to say it was one sided, but kind of going back to, we had a daily team Zoom training there earlier, and this guy named Stephen Kephart, in 3 days of his month, he wrote like pretty much his whole APV for the entire month in 3 days. So I had a week where I had like 13K. So that definitely helped. Just staying consistent. And most importantly, tying it into yesterday, I showed up all day yesterday. I only got one deal, had 4 hours of talk time, worked from 8 to 8 on Zoom. And you just have to show up every day, and things are going to eventually fall into your lap if you're putting in the time. But tying it into how much I've made, um, well north of five figure so far, just alone in bonuses, north of 5K. And then obviously on the 25K there in APV, well north of five figure, with factoring in, lead spend and everything in between. Just still can't believe that it's real, honestly. Still can't believe I've, have a different background now that you've probably seen in my Instagram journey so far. So been able to put myself in positions that I didn't think would happen if I didn't have this company, and I wasn't in this vehicle. So yeah, another long-winded question there, or answer, excuse me. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I did look at your bonus report. I mean, you made $7,000 in bonuses so far. It
Well,
says
I
7,000.
misspoke. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
I've
hit
3
7,000 in bonuses.
grand. Yep, not to cut you off there, but I got 3 grand left that we're working. Excuse me, 3,500 left here in the next 11 days. Have my two unique underwriters, three unique underwriters. So just a matter of time. Just gonna continue to put the inputs and the outputs in, and hopefully we can get that last $3,500 that's on the table, and we'll be over 10 G's just in bonuses for showing up. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know what company does that, especially coming from Fidelity Investments, top five workplace, in America. Unbelievable. It really is.
yeah, no, 100%. So I mean, but just to kind of like, just for the viewers, just to make it make sense for them, how much did you profit in the month of August?
Profit in the month of August, to make it make sense, conservatively, let's just go with 15K, right? This is someone
15K.
who's
Dude,
this is
that's
someone who's coming off, fresh, never sold
it's
anything
insane,
before,
bro.
straight in the first full month. Yeah, and it's crazy to even say that. And I don't want to even sound ungrateful here, but sky is the limit. There's people who do 15K in a week here, many people who do 15K in a week here. So far from where I want to be, but enjoying the journey. That's one thing I really continue to work on, is enjoying the journey, and just being grateful for where I'm at, and then kind of putting the head down and progressing into the future. So yeah,
Super, dude. 15K in your first full month is
yeah,
actually crazy. Like, there's not
yeah,
many. Even, I mean, you look at like all the different like opportunities out there, like copywriting, SMMA, drop shipping, like crypto, day trading, you name it. Like, 15K profit in your first full month is pretty freaking good.
yeah. And I mean, you forgot to mention e-commerce, private label. The list goes on and on. And see, the turnaround is, it's not an inventory based business, or you're not reliant upon a bunch of other moving parts. You're in control of yourself, right?
Hmm.
The determining factor on your income is yourself.
Right.
And you are going to succeed if you plug into the system. I don't know how many times you've heard Josh Chris say this. Plug into the system, read the script. Everyone does the same exact thing. And there's no get rich quick, it's a get rich guarantee. All you
Yep.
have to do is show up. That's it. You might
Right.
have bad days, that exists, but we're here for a reason, because we have these skills and qualities and characteristics to overcome the highs and lows. We want more than just the $45,000 a year Fidelity Investments salary. At least that's what I wanted. No shade on Fidelity. They got $15 trillion assets under management, right? So that's me personally. But yeah, crazy first month and still can't believe it's real. Just ready for the future. Ready to, you got 112 days left of this year. So I'm really excited to just get after it and see what the progress looks like.
Let's go, dude. I'm proud of you. You've been murdering it, dude. Seriously, good
Yeah.
stuff.
Tough month
So
though. It's a tough month. We're 12 days in. Um, but we'll do what we did last month. No question. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's a non-negotiable. So we'll be back right at that 25K mark again.
let's go, dude. Okay, I guess just last kind of question to just to wrap things up. Where do you see yourself in the next 12 months?
Ooh, you really putting that out in the air because we're gonna look back on
Yeah,
this not only here but on Instagram as well and the socials.
that's gonna be a fun
I
one.
don't want to put figures out there. I'll be an agency owner. I'll be a leader. I want to be a role model to other people. I want people to be able to look up to me. I want to be able to give guidance, even though I'm very young. Those are a couple of the attributes and characteristics that I want to be able to, emit into other people. Um, from a financial standpoint, multiple five figures a month. I think that's a fair number to kind of throw out there between various sources of income. But first and foremost, just being a leader, what you see here virtually is what you need to see in person when you meet me as well. And that's the character of the person I am. First and foremost, has to be at the forefront of all of this, and all those other good things will come as time goes on. So, those are my
In
goals.
in other areas too. I mean, that's great, and I know you're gonna well surprise. I see you doing 50K a month within the next 12 months, 100%. With the team that
Right.
you're gonna have, the leadership that you already have, you're gonna be hitting 50K months within a year. There's no doubt about that. Lifestyle wise, like where do you see you see yourself having like a house at that point? You see yourself like
Yeah.
settling down? Like where do you see yourself in the next 12?
Settling down, I don't think that's in Colts. I don't know what word I'm looking for. I don't think that's in my dialect or dialogue. Um, but I'm in a house right now here in Tampa, Florida that I love. Can't wait to, dial here with other people on the
You got a new
team
spot, huh?
yeah, new spot and show people kind of my neck of the woods here. Um, but time will tell. It'd be cool to, travel the lower 48, do some traveling, do some remote stuff. But yeah, taking it one step at a time, enjoying the journey, and most importantly, building relationships with people who be, lifelong friends. So let's just start there and before we start
Yeah.
fantasizing. I do that every day. So
All right, I guess like last little bonus question, like what advice, and this is because remember, like this is gonna be for everyone, like in all, like you don't have to join insurance, like this is gonna be specifically for everyone who's getting into sales. Like they could be in door to door, they could be doing some pest control, might be selling alarms, they could be doing windows. Like we are teaching sales here. What would your advice be to someone who is getting into sales for the first time in their life? Could be high ticket, like literally anything.
yeah, find a vehicle, regardless of what that vehicle is, whether it's insurance or not, whether it's high ticket, whether you're a setter. Find that vehicle and stick with it. That's the number one advice that I would give that's probably circulating everywhere from everyone. It's so true. And I'll say this again, if you stick with something and you work hard at it, you're going to see success. But now in the financial service space, if you go on to AI and ChatGPT, who creates the most millionaires? And it's financial services. Whether it's this industry or a different industry, this isn't a get rich quick, it's a get rich guarantee. Plug into the system, work hard, and stay consistent no matter what sales position you're in, no matter what industry you're in, and you will find success much quicker than what the corporate, I don't want to, what the corporate plan looks like. So that would be my little advice, but who am I to say anything? Just
Getting
my two
15 grand a
cents
month in
there
your first
on the
12
whole
months, you
thing.
definitely got credibility, my guy.
Yeah,
You gotta give
yeah.
yourself more
Well,
credit.
kind words there, my friend. Kind words.
I
So,
got you, dude. Well, dude, thanks for coming on, bro. You can just, I can tell you're already gonna help a lot of people, whether or not they go into this or something else. I mean, just your story alone, it proves that sales is really a vehicle that can get anyone from 0 to 15K in a month. So proud of you,
Yeah.
dude.
I appreciate that. And before we get off here, if anyone ever has any questions, it's just Colt45 Cells on Instagram. I'm happy to talk to anyone, wherever, however. Pick my brain. I always want kind of the inside look of what something looks like and what it really looks like. And I try to be transparent no matter what it is in my life. And I just want to do good by people. So, yeah.
Love it, dude. All right. Well, good stuff, Colton. Appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
All
Peace.
right. See you guys.